Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to first look at Arsenal finally giving Dennis Praet transfer hope after missing out twice in the past, and then we're going to look at Arsenal in direct contact over Nuno Tavares transfer with Benfica star keen on move. So the first transfer headline states that Arsenal finally given Dennis Praet transfer hope after missing out twice in the past. So the reports are stating that Arsenal were interested in Dennis Praet 2 years ago. 2 years after turning Arsenal down, Dennis Praet could potentially sign for them this summer after deciding to leave Leicester in the transfer window. The impending arrival of Boubakary Samara will further nudge him down to the pecking order. Leicester star Dennis Praet has opened the door to a move to Arsenal 2 years after turning them down. The Belgian signed for the Foxes during the summer of 2019 when interest was high in the midfielder. The Gunners had made the then Sampdoria star a top target, but he ultimately picked Leicester over them. Now just 2 years into his King Power Stadium career, he wants out of the Euros and is open to a move to the Emirates Stadium. The Athletic report, he has been left frustrated by a lack of chances, but Leicester will want close to the £18 million they paid in 2019. Arsenal are a potential option, having been interested in the 27-year-old 2 years ago, but it remains to be seen whether they will revive their efforts. It looks likely though, with the Gunners desperate to bolster their midfield amid several mooted departures. Granit Xhaka is on the verge of joining AS Roma with Jose Mourinho for a relatively modest £17 million. And he is not the only one, with Dani Ceballos and Martin Odegaard returning to Real Madrid, with the likelihood of another loan move for either looking slim. Matteo Guendouzi is set to depart, with Marseille looking ready to snap the Frenchman up as Lucas Torreira eyes a move to Lazio. It means Mikel Arteta will have to bring in more than one midfielder to plug the gaps in the squad, and Dennis Praet could be a somewhat cheap option. Meanwhile, the Gunners are closing in on the signing of Ben White from Brighton, and it looks like Arsenal can finally give Dennis Praet transfer hope after missing out twice in the past. So it looks like Arsenal are looking for a major shift in that midfield for the Gunners, and Mikel Arteta is looking at Dennis Praet as an option, someone that was heavily linked with the Gunners 2 years ago under Unai Emery's era, and Dennis Praet is someone that hasn't lived up to expectations at Leicester because he was bought for £18 million from Sampdoria, and he's someone that, like Lucas Torreira, it was initially expected that a player like Lucas Torreira and Dennis Praet could be joining the Gunners in some form of a double deal, but Dennis Praet then opted to join for Leicester, but now he wants to move to the Emirates Stadium as a suitable option if he wants to leave the Gunners. For me, Dennis Praet is someone that has failed to live up to expectations at Leicester, and for me, we shouldn't go for players that have failed to impress in a certain club in the Premier League, and then Arsenal somehow could get the best out of him. I think that is really difficult to do at this stage in Arsenal's. Pretty much they need a major overhaul, and we need good players coming in, not players that have struggled to live up to expectations. But Dennis Praet is still in the Belgium squad, and Belgium did beat Portugal, but he didn't feature at all. So this nicely takes us on to the second piece of transfer news, which states that Arsenal in direct contact over Nuno Tavares transfer, with Benfica star keen on move. So the reports are stated that Benfica fullback Nuno Tavares is reportedly a target for Arsenal ahead of next season. Arsenal have stepped up their interest in Benfica defender Nuno Tavares by making contact with his representatives of the possibility of a move, according to reports. Club director Edu looks set to lead a summer of change at the Emirates Stadium, with Mikel Arteta in desperate need of reinforcements to stand any chance of building on last season's disappointment. The Gunners slumped to an 8th place finish in the Premier League table, missing out on European qualification for the first time in over 25 years. Mikel Arteta's side also failed to win a trophy after crashing out of both domestic cups and the Europa League, with their season ultimately defined by a lack of quality and consistency over the course of the campaign. It seems as though a number of signings will need to arrive this summer in order to spark an upturn in fortunes, with Arsenal's defensive ranks believed to be one of the areas under scrutiny. The likes of Hector Bellerin, Sead Kolasinac and William Saliba appear to be facing uncertain futures, while David Luiz has already left the club after the conclusion of his previous contracts. The fullback positions are likely to be addressed this summer, with Mikel Arteta reportedly looking to improve in the wide areas as well as centrally. Although Kieran Tierney recently penned a new long-term deal with the club, also on the hunt for a viable backup option on the left, and have reached out to the agents of Tavares as they weigh up a move for the Benfica man, according to transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. It is claimed that the Gunners are in direct contact with the 21-year-old's camp in order to establish the likelihood of a summer switch. Tavares himself would reportedly be keen on joining Arsenal as he looks to fulfill his dream of playing Premier League football. As a result, his personal terms are not expected to pose an issue during negotiations, which suggests that his services could be within reach for the North London club. However, Edu will need to fight off competition from the likes of Napoli and Lazio in order to seal Tavares' signature this summer, with the player's stance on the move potentially spelling good news. He featured in a bit-part role for Benfica last season, claiming 3 assists from 25 appearances in all competitions, and would likely do a similar job with Arsenal as Tierney's understudy. It is said that Benfica are willing to accept a fee of around £14.5 million for Tavares, but it remains to be seen whether Gunners will eventually firm up their interest with an official bid. Also believing to be targeting plenty of reinforcements in a variety of different positions this summer, with Mikel Arteta previously suggesting that large-scale changes could be soon on the horizon. We don't know yet because we have so many things to do, the Spaniard told reporters when quizzed on his transfer plans earlier this year. It's about the project and time-wise. How to build it is going to take some effort from everybody, and we know that. The challenging moments that we are facing at the moment is making it even harder. So it looks like Arsenal are in direct contract over Nuno Tavares' transfer, with Benfica star keen on move. And I think this should be seen as a priority target for Mikel Arteta, as we need to find a cover to Kieran Tierney, as that pretty much cost us the latter stages of this season, and Nuno Tavares is someone that Mikel Arteta is keen to bring in as a left-back cover. So we will have to wait and see how Arsenal will use the summer transfer window in the end. Make sure you check out the FA Cup poster using the special link I have put below in the description, and smash that like button to see if you can reach 20 likes. Also, subscribe for more daily Arsenal news videos and click one of the latest videos on the screen, and I'll see you there.